What's up, guys? My name is Betty Nkirote, and welcome to the first episode of Disability Awareness Podcast. This is a platform where I get to share my experiences as a person with disability and also how I navigate my day-to-day life also as a person with disability. My disability is visual impairment, and uh, every day I encounter, as I go about my life, I encounter people who ask me questions about how do you do life, how do you cook, how do you, like, who dresses you, so many questions, such that I feel there is need for me or for us to create awareness and also create a platform where persons with disabilities can share their stories, so that we also, as in the process, destigmatize disability, because part of destigmatization includes talking about the thing that the society like tends to shy away from. Yes, now one of the most common questions that I receive almost every day is whether I have to live with someone or whether I stay with someone in my house, or is there anyone who assists me, cooks for me, such questions. Well, at the beginning, I used to like accommodate, or rather just answer the question without giving it too much thoughts. But recently I find myself like even getting angry. I'm like, why would someone assume because I have a disability I have to live with someone? So, and as such, you see also that is even like informs the need for me now to like have this platform, because we the only way people can learn that a person with a disability can survive on their own or can just do their day-to-day activities on their own is like through creating this awareness.
I think the first question that people might ask you is, how do you dress yourself if you stay alone? How do you know which clothes to pick? How do you know the color of clothes? How do you plan what to wear?
Well, what happens when I go, for example, when it comes now to dressing, like part of the thing, what I do to make sure that I dress well and everything, I go to shop with my friends. So when we go shopping, I get to touch, like, if it's a dress, if it's a trouser. Before, of course, they have to help me choose the one that like looks nice and everything. But now in the process, I have to like touch it so that I feel, and once I feel it, like the first touch, I know, and then they will tell me, this is red or this trouser is black. So I just have a way of like differentiating my clothes, but I'm able to tell apart all my clothes. And yeah, I pick them by myself every morning.
I think in line with the clothes you wear, but even the colors that you choose, do you have to choose like different fabrics have to have different colors, or you can have one fabric different colors and you know the difference, and how would you know the difference?
Oh, well, in terms of colors, if I have like the same clothes which are of the same make, I find my ways. I don't know whether I should tell you, like, there's a way I mark them so that I know, like, for instance, we say I have three pull necks. One is red, the other one is pink, the other one is black. So I have a way, there's a way I label them.
Share with us the way. That's what you want me to do.
Yeah, sometimes I can, you see the label that is at the back here. Maybe the red one, I retain the label. Then, or the ones which have the label at the side. So I'll just, maybe the red one, I tell myself now, for the red one, we retained the label. So it registers in my mind that the red one has a label. Then for instance, there's a pink one. The pink one, I can split the label. So that now it's like I'm able to tell them apart. The one that is the label is split, the other is the pink one, and then for the black one, for instance, then I remove the label altogether. So in that case, I know the black one does not have the label, the pink one is split, and the red one has the entire label is in contact.
Okay,
Yeah.
interesting. Now, let's now go to cooking, because I think that is another very interesting thing. Now that you can't see exactly what you're doing, how do you know the kind of spices, how much of the spices to put? And you also, the biggest question, how do you avoid catching yourself? Or do you catch yourself, and how often do you do that? And if you don't, how do you avoid catching yourself?
Well, cooking, I am able to cook by myself because it's also, as you've asked, several people ask me, who cooks for you? Do you cook for yourself? And I'm like, yes, I cook for myself every day. And it's because, well, growing up, I used to cook. At that time, I did not like it. But right now, I appreciate, I'm like, it's good they allowed me to cook or to do these things because right now, I am able to do them for myself. One of my tips, like when it comes to cooking, I mostly, now the onions, I'm able to chop them by, I chop the onions, I chop the tomatoes and everything. But now how I tell, because that is a common question, how do you tell the onion is ready? I smell. I use the sense of smell. Maybe in future I can demonstrate, but I just use my sense of smell. I smell the onion. There's a way when you're cooking, the smell changes as the onion cooks. The way as the more it turns brown, the more the smell changes. I think that is something that I have like mastered, so I know how to go about it in terms of spices, which spices to do. Also, I use the sense of smell. I'm able to smell this is pilau masala, this is beef masala. I know paprika. I know their smells. If it's rosemary, I know how to tell them apart. But I heavily depend on my sense of smell.
And how do you know the amount of spices, let's say the salt, the paprika, to use at one particular dish?
I think I estimate depending on the amount of food I'm cooking. Mostly nowadays I cook like food for like 2 people or 3 people, or like food that can I can eat for 2 or 3 days. And in that case, I'm able to estimate. I wouldn't say exactly how I do it, but I am able to estimate.
Oh, and do you sometimes find you put like a lot or less, or you're just able to find a way?
Well, at the beginning, when I first acquired the disability, while I was a child, I used to put a lot of salt. Like estimating was difficult, so people used to complain, "Hey, you put a lot of salt. Your food is not edible because it has too much salt." But also it was something that I was learning to live with, so I had not like mastered how to go about my duties or how to do things. Because even in the kitchen, I was a mess. I just used to drop everything down. You find you place plates on the counter. Hey, when I enter that kitchen, everything everything is, I just touch just one touch and everything is down. Because then you see it was the early stages. I didn't know how to live with a disability or how to navigate life. But now I think I have gotten to a point where I'm able to do it based on the amount of food I'm cooking. And again, you can put a small amount and then you taste and you tell whether it is enough or you require to add some more.
And then the biggest question I think, and one of the two biggest I have, is when cutting things, how do you avoid cutting yourself? How do you navigate that?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I wouldn't say there is a tactic. What I know is that I don't use a chopping board because I can miss and like chop my fingers. So I prefer holding the if it's the onion, I prefer holding it on my hand so that as I cut, you see, I can feel. I think I can feel with my hands. So I mostly use my hands. I don't chop using a chopping board. I fear like cutting myself, and also the size, like estimating when it is on the chopping board. That one might be a little bit tricky as compared to when I am holding it in my hands.
Okay. And then the other question is, how do you light the gas? How do you how do you do that?
Oh Lord. Well, I know for me, I'll say it's not difficult, but it's because I'm used to it. Now, how do I explain? That is something that I can only demonstrate. But I do it. I am able to do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have future episodes, guys. She's going to demonstrate how she cooks, how she lights the fire, and how she cuts the onion. Stay tuned, and if you want to know how she does it, comment below, and it might just be the next episode.
Yes, another frequently or a common question that I receive from people is, how do you go to work? How do you get to the bus station when you when you want to go to somewhere, or when you want to go visit your friend? How do you do it? Well, I'll admit, mobility or movement from one place to another is the most challenging part of my life, I would say. Like, because if I want to go to the supermarket, I cannot just start walking around, especially now where I live. You have to cross the road. There are so many border borders. There are so many matatus. So it's such a risky affair. And also, if I want to go to work in the morning, I also have to think about how I get there. I get to the bus station. Now, mostly what I do, because of course I am not yet there where I don't have a car. But now what I do, I have my boda guy. So what he does, he picks me from my house, drops me to the bus station. Then I get to a matatu. Once I get to a matatu, like I talk to the conductor personally. Kitambo, I used to like be shy of telling the conductor, Nini, or you just feel shy. I don't know why I used to feel shame or something. But nowadays, I am not afraid to tell the conductor. You drop me at, for instance, drop me at the library, or kindly make sure you don't like pass my stage. I communicate clearly, and even when maybe I'm in the bus and I feel like it has been long and I have not yet alighted, I just ask the conductor or ask the person seated next to me, where are we? So that is how I manage my movement, mostly through boda and also through help of people. And if it's a place that is not like accessible, because there are places that the where you're going, or the office that you're going to, or the facility that you're going to visit is not close to the road, in that case now I just take a Uber, and yeah, that way I'm able to move comfortably without stress.
Now let's say you have already alighted from to where you are going. Do you have to call somebody to come pick you from the stage, or do you take a boda now to the exact same place, or how do you go about that?
Well, it depends. Like currently now where I work, I am lucky. The Once I am dropped at the stage, the company or the office driver comes to pick me. If he's not around, then someone from work will come and pick me. In rare cases, like very rare cases, I'll have to take a motorbike to get to the office. Yeah, that is how I do it. If I'm going to visit a friend, for instance, and my friend says like far from, let's say I'm going to visit my friend in Machakos. In that case, I'll navigate my way to, I'll just take if I just take a boda boda, or just take a cab to the bus station. Then once I get to Machakos stage, now it's up to them to come in. They come and pick me. I don't want to say it's up to them, but they come and pick me. Even my friends who live around, once I'm dropped, they come pick me. That is how I go about it.
Okay, and then let's now go back to mention shopping. Now you know the things that you want. Now do you have to go with somebody, or do you just go and ask the people who are the supermarket to help you to see what you want to buy? How do you go about doing shopping?
Well, in terms of shopping, there was a time let's say like 2 years ago, I couldn't go shopping alone. But also I realized I was so dependent on my friend. Like I used to, well, in campus, I used to used to stay like around or close with my best friend. So majority of the time she used to baby me a lot. Like if we want to go to town, we go to town together, we go shopping together, we want to go to the market, we go together, everything together. Now in 2020, when we came to Nairobi, we also continued staying together. Then 2021 we are done with school. Now it's time to do attachment and everything. And she had to go. This I learned the hard way. Now after she went, I would say I really used to find life difficult. I even used to cry almost every day because I don't know what I'm supposed to do. She's not around. I don't know how I'm going to get my groceries. I don't know how I'll get to stage. It was difficult. But you see now, I used to ask friends, like people around, to help me go shopping, go pick things in the supermarket. If it's the market, you send someone to go and get you the groceries. But now in 2023, it's when I remember it was even the 1st of January 2023 is when I made the decision to be independent because I used to feel like I am limiting myself. Like if I want salt, I can't have salt until my friend is available to take me buy salt. And you see, you cannot blame them because everyone is doing their life and people have different things they're doing. So that day I just decided I'll be going to shop by myself. And up to date I do it by myself. I just go to the supermarket. You see there at the gate, you find the soldier. I talk to them. Then the supermarket gets me an attendant, one of their attendants, to help me pick whatever I want. So I just go. I know what I want, so I just pick, pay, call my boda guy, and go back home. That's how I do it.
And groceries?
That one. Hey, the market is something else. So I just send. There's a friend. I am lucky to have a friend who like goes to Soko to whenever they are going to pick their groceries, they also go and get me groceries. If they're not around, I also send my rider.
Oh, okay.
Well, as I end this episode, those are some of the answers to the most commonly asked questions, the ones that I receive most in my day-to-day like interactions with people. Uh, as I end, I would like to say, like, if you are a friend or a relative or parent with a child, or you know someone with a disability, kindly support them. Um, Help them here and there. As you've heard, it requires a lot of strength to get through life every day. Also, if you're in a matatu, well, personally, because I use matatu a lot, sometimes I might be going to town or to work, and because of traffic or it's maybe a very noisy matatu, I'm not able to tell which at what stage we are. So me, majority of the times, if I feel I'm confused, I ask. Sometimes people ignore you, but me, I'll be like, excuse me, I cannot see. Could you kindly tell me where we are? So do not be shy to ask. And also, if I ask you, don't ignore me because it is important that also I keep track of where we keep track of where we are. And yeah, that is that. Let's all keep positive. If you are struggling, maybe here and there, just stay positive. It gets better. That's all for today's episode. Kindly subscribe and see you in the next episode.